Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 296. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. In this show, we will be discussing an iron sight review, side-folding PCC, Beretta 92Xs, and a PC9. So I guess it's a 9mm Tuesday show. I'm your host, Chad Wallace, and with me tonight, right now, is Tony. No Zane, so we get a party without him. Rob may be here later. He may not. I guess it depends on when he shows up. So, Tony, what did you do in firearms?
What did I do in firearms? Well, I think last week we had the diversity shoot, right? Did I tell you about that?
I believe you did, and that was on Thursday, so you didn't tell us about it yet.
All right, cool. Man, I was busy. So we did the diversity shoot. That was amazing. We had some really cool guns out. We had that new that Rock Island semi-automatic shotgun that we talk about. I think we talked about it on the show, right?
We did probably 8 months
Yeah, the
ago.
VR60.
Yeah.
Yeah, the VR60.
60, 80, whatever number it is.
60 or 80, I forget which one. Brian bought it out. Thanks a lot. He's one of our volunteers, so I got to run some rounds through that. I brought the High Point in the bullpup chassis out, and Angelo ran that. And if you listen to 2A4E podcast about when Floyd ran it and ran like, I don't know, I gave him 1,000 rounds of ammo. Dude, I'm thinking he shot like 500 rounds, 500 to 800 rounds, like, bam. So, of course, I opened the box of brand new ammo, and I was like, all right, here you go, 1,000 rounds. And it's Fiocchi, and it's in the, 50-round boxes.
Right.
So I was like, here you go, run this, Ange, and do whatever, and I leave. I come back, and Ange goes, yo, dude, people love shooting this gun. And he opens up the Fiocchi box, and, like, there's 200 rounds left. There's 4 boxes sitting in it. I looked at him, and I was like, holy crap. And he has, I just didn't see your face, and he flips up the rifle bag, and he has all the rounds laid out flat, like, took all the, I was like, oh, dude. I was like, oh, man. Because, it's 9mm ammo, man. I'm having to buy it a lot. Oh, and another Brian actually donated some ammo to the shoot, so I appreciate that. He actually dropped it off at Gun for Higher Range. So I was able to pick that up. So we got some 5.56 and some more 9mm, which is awesome. So I appreciate that donation. So we shot that. It was fun. And then I went to, I know it's not with guns, but I wanted to find out what was happening in the state. So I went to the ANJRPC, which is New Jersey's NRA chapter. They had their annual meeting, which was like a brunch on Sunday. And I went there because I really wanted to see what our state is doing. And I'm not going to hit you up with everything, but we got some lawsuits in front of the Supreme Court, man. I mean, that's from Jersey. And we're working on some stuff. And actually, we had the lawyer there that will be arguing our cases in front of the Supreme Court. So I talked to him. And look, man, if you want to get involved with this, you just have to show up. And that's what I did. And it was pretty cool. So that's what I did. Again, shot cool guns, shot a 44 Magnum with like a 6 or 8-inch barrel. I forgot which one. One of the guys brought it, Armin. And man, with 300 grain full loads, that thing racked the snot out of my knuckle with that Smith & Wesson old school. You know how they had the pistol grip, the grip on them that had, like, your hand went up in the gap between the trigger housing, and it would just slam into my index finger hard.
Ouch.
My pointer finger hard. Like 6 rounds. Like, I concentrated, and of course, I dry fire and I shoot my 357 a lot. So there was no flinching. I mean, pretty much it was one hole in them at, I don't know, 10 yards or something, but it had a long sight radius. That was the easy part. The hard part was concentrating when somebody's whacking your finger with a bat. That thing hurt, man. I'm like, this thing definitely needs some hold grips to fill in that gap. But yeah. And I took, what the heck did I take out to shoot? Oh, I took the bullpup out. I took the bullpup out last Wednesday. to shoot some groups uh, and take pictures for review. So I took
Nice.
the High Tower Armory pistol out for that. Or excuse me, carbine out.
Nice. Well,
So that's what I did.
I actually made it to the range. I had to
Nice.
try. Yeah, I had to, you know, work on some review stuff. So I took the Meprolite Foresight out, which came in last week, and sighted it in and tried some different reticles out. Tried a different, programmed it so you can have more than one gun, supposedly, it goes on.
Hmm.
So in my case, I just put my 22 conversion kit in the same pistol, AR pistol that I have it mounted on, and it shoots a different point of aim. So I zeroed it for that also. And then you can
Hmm.
switch back and forth and it does what it's supposed to, which I thought that's pretty cool. So you don't have to readjust your sight. You just reload in the program for whichever sight, whatever gun it's on. Well, it was pretty cool. Let's see. I was shooting also the Walker Nero 556 comp. It's their Inconel printed compensator, and it is flat. If you can go look up the video of me shooting it on Instagram. It's just a little short video, like literally like 4 or 5 seconds. You can see how flat it shoots. That was really nice. And then yesterday, I got in Adible's new SLR1 red dot, which is a solar red dot with a CR2032 battery, my favorite. And it does, they tout it as 100,000 hour battery life because of the solar. If the sun is bright enough, I tried it without the battery, and sure enough, you see a red dot in there, and it is auto adjusting on the solar. So we'll have a review on that sometime in the future. I think that's about all I did with firearms.
Cool.
I wrote a review, so we're going to talk about it later. I guess,
Alrighty.
yeah. Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. Go check Patriot Patch Co. out. Sign up for the Patch of the Month Club because it's really awesome. I think November actually brings us 2 patches. They say it's customer appreciation or something. But either
Cool.
way, it's cool. They have lots of cool new stuff you can order. Check out gunstreamer.com if you want firearms videos. And don't forget to use the affiliate link if you're shopping Amazon at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And,
All right. I will go ahead and do Rob's disclaimer if you want.
okay, sure.
Sure. Hey, Rob, doing your job because you couldn't show up. That's all I'm saying. Don't feel any kind of way. Just everybody else.
Rob should feel good about himself because Zane's not here and Zane doesn't even have a job.
Nice. No, his job is to be wrong all the time. All right, here we go. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I
Nice.
like that,
Tony.
right? It was all dramatic. I dropped it like it was hot. That's
That's
awesome.
right.
I should get a
So,
raise.
yeah, I'll double your pay. So, what we have, I have a review, and it is for the XS Sights F8 night sights. And I will preface this with I didn't mention anything about night sights washing out in certain lighting conditions because, that's how they are. So, a lot of people have heard of XS Sights because of their fast acquisition big dot sights. Well, they came out with these night sights called the F8. The F8s combine the fastness of the big dot. Fastness is my word, not a real world. Of the big dot with a standard sight picture. They came out probably over a year ago. This is the review sample I had was a long process because of the slide, was not here, and then et cetera, et cetera. So that's neither here nor there. The first thing you do notice when you see these are the big orange dot front sight. Inside the orange ring, of course, is green tritium. Go check out the pictures. They're way better than anything you can see on the screen. So I'm probably not going to show you much of this. The orange ring makes it extremely easy to pick up the front sight. Hence, that's kind of what XS does. Besides the glow from the tritium, the F8's orange is photoluminescent. Means it can be charged up with a flashlight or other such light. And I will try to show you a picture on the camera here. You can see the front sight even though you can't really see it, but I will sit here and charge it up, and basically it turns it a greenish color on the camera. I mean, Tony can actually see it, so that's saying something. The white glow, whitish greenish from charging the front sight lasts a few minutes. Like if you're using a handheld flashlight to shoot with, depending on the technique you're using, you can charge it up accidentally without even really realizing it, which is what I did the first time before I even realized that it was photoluminescent. Even though the instructions and information say it is, I just forgot that part. The tritium is also very bright. I was pretty impressed with the tritium. That I'll say a little more on later. The rear sight, as mentioned, is standard square notch. Pairs nicely with the front sight. XS calls it a wide notch rear. The wider notch allows more light on each side of the post, aiding in quicker pickup of the front sight. I really like this style system. I tend to like narrower front posts and a wider rear on standard sights. The F8 rear front combo does this for me with the wider front post. The rear sight's wider also. More light on each side of the sight, pictures faster for me personally. To each their own. The tritium in the rear sight is a single dot below the notch of the rear sight. This gives you the dot over dot sight picture, or figure 8, as some call it. This is where the 8 in the F8 comes from, probably the F for figure 8, etc., etc. The rear sight is also very squarely shaped, and I'm not talking about the square notch. It has a slight angled overhang on the back to help reduce glare in certain lighting conditions. Plus, the squared front also gives you lots of real estate for one-handed sight manipulation. And they stick up quite a bit. You can kind of go look at the pictures. There are some somewhat decent pictures there.
One-handed slide manipulation, not sight manipulation.
Fine, I'll change it. Oh, wait. It says that in here. It says for one-handed slide manipulation.
Mm-hmm. So, you said sight manipulation.
Whatever.
I'm like, yeah,
thanks, Tony.
Words and stuff. I'll stop listening to every word you say now.
Just wait until I say That's what I'm supposed to do. Another thing nice about the rear sight is it's all black with just the one tritium insert. I'm a big believer in all black rear sights. So that's a plus for me. I did install these on an aftermarket G17 slide. Installation was straightforward enough. XS provided front sight tool, thread locker, basically everything you need in the box with them. The front sight was a little loose in the oval hole in the front, if you know anything about Glock style slides. Well, so I tightened it a little tighter than probably should have. So what happens? Well, the screw breaks off in the first, I don't know, 2 magazines I shoot the thing with. Yes, you can laugh at me, Tony. And I wanted to put this in the review because this is pretty important to me and probably anybody else that has this happen. So, XS has one of the best warranties in the business. I emailed them. A few days later, new front sight showed up. Free of charge, of course. So I followed the instructions perfectly for the new installation. A few months later, hundreds of rounds later, at a match, the front sight breaks off again. Yes, that's about how I felt. There is I have a video of me shooting the steel match when it broke off too. So I finished that particular run and then switched guns, but that's so I emailed him, said, "Hey, my front sight fell off, broke off." Offered to buy a new one, but they of course specifically said no. So so much that they sent me a shipping label to send the slide back to them for their techs to install it.
Oh snap! I left the mic up.
Yeah. They,
They were like, "Yeah, no, we'll do it. You send it
yeah.
in."
So they get a 10 for 10 out of customer service. The rear side, of course, I never had any problems with. I coated the dovetail with the excess thread liner, like they said, slid the side in, tightened down the two set screws, and that part was done. It has never moved on me. Uh, I did have to move it once to sight it in, but that was it. And it still hasn't moved. Now, in the review, there's some pictures of the low light with the photoluminescent settings and kind of a dark sight picture. There's also a little picture with a drawing of the rear angle of the sight. Uh, as a combined sight set, the F8 really shine. They're slightly taller than most factory sights, which I like, but not so tall that they can be called suppressor sights. I measured them. The front's 280 tall, the rear's 300 thousandths of an inch tall. The tritium is super bright. I have a story that I didn't put in there. That I left my safe door open one night and woke up and was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's like two like kind of green glows, and one was this set and one was another set of night sights I have." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I just went back to sleep because I knew what it was. I love the sight picture I get. It's really everything that I wanted out of a night sight. Installation, everything's provided. The height, along with the Beretta front sight, really does make them easy to get on target fast. So, if you hadn't guessed it, I really do like these sights. They did a fantastic job with the F8s. So, if you're in the market, you might want to give XS and the F8s a look. Besides, if nothing else, the warranty is fantastic. Firearms Insider Review 8 key points. Claim to fame. Well, they're night sights with photoluminescent front sight. Target market. People wanting fast, easy to see tritium sights. Features and benefits. We probably went through most of these. They are tritium. The orange color front ring around the tritium. They call that a glow dot front sight. The front sight blade is 160 thousandths of an inch wide. I don't know what the rear is, but it has a wide square notch rear. It does have the rear sight ledge. They say they have a 10-year warranty, and that's pretty much on the tritium. The figure 8 sight picture. You can get them for a bunch of different other handgun models. So you can click on that. There is a review and what others are saying. If you go over to the firearmsinsider.tv, you can check those out. MSRP on these is $142, so they're pretty much right in there with everybody else. Retail, I found them for $127.80 on Amazon. So if you need them now, get them at one of those two places. So our rating, the pros, easy to pick up front sight. It does have a good sight picture. I did like the glow. I thought that was a good, neat addition. You probably won't use it much, but hey. The tritium's bright. They have an excellent warranty, and everything you need, including the front sight tool, is in the package. The cons, some people might not like the wide front blade. I didn't have any problems with it because there's enough light on the outside. The tritium does wash out because it's tritium sight. If you're in someplace looking into someplace dark, you're in someplace light, or vice versa. You know, you guys have heard that before. And the loose fit on the front sight. So the score, I gave it an 8.5 of great overall, but I also put in there a 9.5 for customer service. And that is that. So, Tony, any questions besides laughing at me?
Well, no, I mean, you didn't do anything that I wouldn't do. I mean, I just find it
You'd
funny.
you'd think I was a Marine or something.
Uh huh. Hey, well, here's the funny part, man. When you use your gear, sometimes you break your gear. Um, that simple. Some people never run their gear hard. I remember, I remember watching a video when you finish shooting it, and you're like, "Hey, the front sight's gone," and they're like, "Yeah, dude, you just shot like half the stage with your front sight gone, and you were banging the steel, which was hilarious." But more proof that you don't need the front sight. But I have no idea when you were pulling the trigger because usually I tell people don't hit the trigger until their front sight settles, and you were like, "Ting ting 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 ting
It
ting 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 ting."
it took me a little while to get, because I shot a couple. There was like 5 or 6 plates. I don't remember. And
Hmm.
then the sight fell off, and it like, when the screw broke or whatever happened, it jammed the gun up kind of. So I cleared it, and then I went to go find my front sight, and it was gone. So then it took me about 5 or 6 shots, maybe a few more, to figure out where it was shooting, because it's a lot easier to shoot a handgun with no sights than it is with just a rear sight, because
So,
it's blocking your view. You can't just look down the top of the slide.
but yeah, I had that actually happen with my stock Glock 19 sights, and that's when Sean decided to put a high vis front sight on my Glock. Was when mine came loose. So stuff happens. Zane being antisocial as he been hospitalized by some low recoil ammo.
Yeah.
I love the dudes in the comment section.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they give us some good stuff.
Yeah, so I was just looking at this, and yeah, XS is a little more expensive than like Trigicon sites, but they're different too, so it's not the exact same. I'm trying to compare apples to apples,
Right.
and pretty much to do that, you're gonna go with like Ameriglow is kind of sort of that. Ameriglow has some pro eye dots that has the
Right.
same orange with the dot in the back. Um, but they have like 344 customer reviews, and they say it's okay. I mean, like it's what's 4.5 stars. So, I mean, it's a little less expensive, but it's not the same. Their rear sight's not serrated. I don't think it's as high from looking at the pictures.
Yeah,
But hey,
these are a
there's some
little
stuff out
higher
there.
than, like, I have a set of night vision sights,
Hmm.
which I see they just came out with a new set. Maybe we'll talk about them next week or something. Uh, and they are a lower. They're just a standard sight. They're not their suppressor height sights.
Okay.
And I like them a lot also, except I like these better because of the width of the rear sight. It gives me more light. Might just be me, but they're in the same, they're pretty much in the same kind of ballpark. Uh, I mean, and they're $117. So,
Yeah.
a little about, they're all kind of in there. Yeah. The XSs are a little bit more, but hey, it's kind of what you like. If you can look at them, you can kind of tell.
It is hilarious though, man. How like there'll just be a set of sites that does it for you, man. And it's like that's what I want on everything now. Just
Right.
works like
Because
that.
typically, night sights for me, I don't care for the wider front sight. But with this, they were adequate, definitely, because the rear sight is wide enough that I can get the light on each side that I want.
Yeah, I was noticing the difference in the sights between my Glock and my CZ. Um, old school CZ 75, pretty much
Right.
just it's the same color as the slide. You kind of got to pick it out, and then when I'm looking at the high vis front sight with the blacked out rears on my Glock 19, it's like pow, here I am, and I like that look. So, no, just checking it out.
Right.
Cool. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon if you want it.
Yeah. I mean, you can use the link in the review on the Firearms Insider is actually already takes you through the Firearms Radio Network's Amazon link. So if you click
Cool.
on that link, it takes you there automatically.
And here's the cool thing: regardless of what you buy, you're there under the Firearms Radio Network. So, hey,
Correct.
Go read the review. Go there and buy a book. I don't care. Help the
Yeah.
network out.
Yeah, exactly. So we are now into the product spotlight and discussion. First up, New Frontier Armory has brought out their side folder PCC lowers. MSRP on them is $299. I put their C9 in here, which is their Glock style lower. They do have their MP5 style, and I can't remember what the other one is. Sorry, New Frontier. Basically, these are kind of cool. It's got a built-in side folder. You know, they are their stripped lower receiver for that price. Side folding rear, they are 7075 T6 aluminum. You know, you can put 940, 357 SIG, basically the small frame Glock caliber upper receivers. You know, pistol cal magazines from the smaller frames, the 940, 357 SIG. They are matte black hard coat anodized, of course. Precision machine beveled feed lips for easy mag swaps. Compatible with 45 and 60-degree short throw fire control selectors. Multi-cal marked. Let's see here. Takedown pin spring and detent hole is threaded for 632 screw for easy captioning. Hardware is included. There is an upper tension screw behind the grip screw to adjust any slop out of your vertical fit between upper and lower. Ambi trigger finger rests with grooves. You kind of have to look at the picture to kind of see what they're talking about, but at least with that one. They have a threaded bolt catch pin, winter built-in winter style trigger guard. The mag catch assembly and ejector is included and installed at the factory. It includes a proprietary pistol weight recoil buffer because of the side folder. It needs a little extra length, I think. Think that's about it for it. I like this one. You know, you can add a law folder to stuff. In this case, it already comes that way. And if you think about, you'd spend 150 on a regular Glock magazine lower, 150 more. The only problem I see is it is a dedicated lower. So if you wanted to change the folder, you're out of luck there.
Get the
Tony?
frick over it. Get over it. Yeah. This thing is dedicated. Look, I love this thing because it's straight FU New Jersey. It's a folding receiver. Thereby, it's not a folding stock. So, ha ha. I can't have a folding stock in Jersey, but I can have a folding receiver.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
even
words mean
better.
things. Words mean things, you douches. Yeah. So I'm going to contact him and hopefully I can get this thing sent because, again, this is a folding receiver. And so I'm checking it out. I don't care about a dedicated lower because, look, stop. Some people do, but most people don't. You usually have a dedicated PCC. That's what most people do. You usually have a dedicated 300 blackout. You usually have a dedicated pistol. At least most people I know. I don't know a lot of dudes that have one lower and like four uppers.
Me neither.
I'm just saying. Usually you just get a whole nother rifle, um, unless you live in a place that makes it very difficult, and then yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But I really hope they can come through and send me one of these, so I can actually take it to events. And pretty much it is. And the only reason I'd want it is just to f New Jersey, just to straight up.
Right.
That's it. Um, Now, Law actually sent us one of their folding stocks adapters, but yeah, the Law folding stock adapter alone cost the MSRP is the exact same as this entire thing. Like, wasn't it 299 for a while?
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, they've
so.
dropped the price now, but yeah, I
But
mean,
still, what you're getting here is cost effective, especially if you live in a state that says folding stocks are not legal, but folding receivers, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I've already spoken to somebody even before it came out, so I've been waiting for them to actually produce them.
Right. Yeah, I knew they've been coming out. I just was like, I'll wait till they release them.
Yep.
But
I
I
mean, no, I mean not just someone. I contacted a lawyer. Like, I'm serious about this because
right,
of what I do. I'm like, no, I'm telling everybody these things are available.
correct. Let's see. What are they? They offer them for the MP5 magazines, and what is the other one? Oh, I can't remember now. I am looking on their site and not finding them. Either way, they make them for three different models of nines. So go check out the New Frontier Armory. I may have a friend that works there. I don't know. Tony might know who he is. So
Does his name rhyme with JD?
it might. It might be
Oh, okay.
like HD or FD or
But they supposedly have their own dedicated upper for this too, right?
I believe any one of their dedicated. Yeah, they make all the stuff. So I'm sure you can get a full rifle from them if you wanted to. Uh, so
Yeah,
yeah,
because I'm checking out their stuff, and they also have some questions at the bottom, frequently asked questions, which I think is awesome for a website. Yeah, yes, Tony's doing that, but but I go there, man, because it's important. This is your contact with the company. I mean, unless you want to try to figure out, Las Vegas time from your time and make a phone call, some of the questions could be answered in the site. Good job on New Frontier Armory.
that's right. I mean,
Now, if
it's not
GWAX
a
can just pull their head out.
it's not a super flashy website, but it's got all the information you need on there, as you could probably tell by us reading it and Tony answering the questions.
So check it out, man. Again, hopefully I can get one from them and have it at Diversity Shoots in New Jersey.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Now, next up is what Tony wanted me to put in the show notes because I don't know why, but is the Beretta 92X series. We're pretty much talking about all of them because no reason to break them up. MSRP is $899 plus, and I say plus because the one that I would actually want is like $13.99, but that's here nor there. Let's see if I can get over to the right website here.
That's
It's
why we can't have nice things.
this is because you're a Marine. It's why we can't have nice things. You and Zayd. I mean, Rob and
Hmm.
I don't make up for it because we're just nobodies.
Whatever, dude. The company had to ask you for the slide so they could put it in because you kept breaking it,
Hey,
breaking the tapes.
hey, the military didn't want me when I wanted to go in, so they
Because
knew
the
I'd
war
break.
1812 was already won. They didn't need your old butt.
Well, they thought they were gonna were coming up. They were gonna battle the British. They thought maybe that was gonna work. So it has a bunch of new features, extended releases, cross checkering front and back. So don't their originals just have lines on them?
Hmm.
Uh huh. So that's new. New designed grip panels with wraparounds, different texture. They also got rid of the curved back strap on some of the models, so you can get a straight kind of back strap. The sights are now removable on the front and rear, so you can switch sights. That's a plus. Standard, pretty much. It's got a rounded trigger guard. It has an enhanced trigger, which I think is not as. It looks about as curved, but I think it's to give you a better feel. Uh, that says the classic shape of the rounded trigger guard follows the lines of the frame for a sleek look. Okay, whatever. It's got the D hammer spring, so smooth double action trigger pull. They say everything except one particular model has slide mounted safety slash decocker. It does have a light rail. It has two different grip panel styles. I think one's the curved, one's the other one. It is a standard Picatinny rail on the front. Standard Vertex panel grips for smaller hands, custom wraparound grip for larger hands. That's what it is. Now we will go into like the full size model. Of course, all the stuff is about the same that we already talked about. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm missing. They call it their Vertex style frame. Not really. These are $8.99. You can get full size has 17 rounds, or they make them for 10 and 15 round magazine states if it's legal in your state. They are 9 millimeter. They use the F model decocking safety. The sights are high vis orange black. Uh, these models weigh 33 and a half ounces unloaded for full size. So if you get like the compacts and stuff, they're a little lighter. They are still 1.5 inch wide, but they do make the performance model. And this is the model I think that has a few extra things. Skeletonized handle, match takedown lever. It also has a extended slide release or slide lock, depending on what you want to call it. But it has a manual safety that works like it should. Up is safe, down is fire, and it is on the frame. It is a Niston finish. It's like silvery colored.
That was easy for you to say.
Yeah. Comes with two 15 round magazines. It does have a flat rear kind of mainspring, has a extended kind of beaver tail. It is an ambi safety, by the way. I forgot to mention that. It's double single because all it has is a safety. This thing weighs 47.61 ounces. Yeah,
It's a
that's a
fatty.
it's a fatty all steel, basically somewhat competition. It has a match trigger. It's got a flatter trigger than the regular X models. Adjustable rear sight, fiber optic front. It says it has sawtooth front and rear serrations, even though, as we know, it's a Beretta 92, so the slide is still cut out. It does have forward cocking serrations. I think I'm about done explaining that one.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much. All right. I really dig it. It's a heavy gun. Um, this is a mature. This is what happens when a weapon system matures and it goes through different things. I mean, it's gone from, and they have it on their page, like how this grew from the Beretta 92, Beretta 92S, and just go on and on and on. But they've worked the heck out of this. They've stretched it as far as you can stretch just the 92, and I dig it. And I like the Performance Center one because it has everything I want on it. But yeah, more than likely it would be a range gun or something you would wear like to a class, or leg holster or freaking hip holster. I mean, I've carried a full size 1911 that weighs about the same thing. And at the end of the day, you just want to get that thing away from me.
That's exactly. Now, I'm pulling a Tony here because in one of the links in the show notes, it's the one on the new 92X. But if you, it shows the different models, so it kind of scrolls through them and displays them. But if you keep scrolling down, then you get to the 92X Performance, which is, I also clicked on the other one, but it lists this stuff. And then on this particular one, instead of having a red fiber optic sight, it has a red fiber optic sight. So I think somebody missed that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of writing.
At least they put all that stuff on there. I mean, they got a pretty good website. So
Yeah, dude. I mean, again, it's a lot of stuff on the Beretta website. They give you a butt ton of information. I first ran into the Beretta. I'm so old that I had the 1911 in boot camp. I ran into my first Beretta after I got out the military, and I was looking to buy my first, purchase my first handgun, and it was a Beretta, a Sig 226, a Beretta, a Sig 226, a Glock 17, and a 1911. I bought the 1911. The trigger on these things are long. The trigger pull was forever. and I just didn't dig it, and I didn't shoot well enough at the time. I didn't shoot enough, and I didn't have enough trigger time on anything at that time. Now that I have a lot more experience, what I learned is Beretta is a pretty good design. It still has a very long trigger pull, and they've taken care of it with a lot of these upgrades from their A3 to this. And with the Langdon Tactical Edition, it's awesome too. So pretty much, I think Beretta has gotten these to where they've gotten rid of most of the things you can complain about. Also, with the thinner grips and the straight uh, pistol grip, also taking care of some of the things that you didn't really like, and allowing a regular size hand to actually get around these things. And yeah, they even have 10-round mags, which I hate because I live in a state that forces you to use 10-round mags. Now I have a full size pistol that could take 15 rounds, and I can only fit 10 in. Sucks. But you live and you learn. Would I buy one? I'd like the Performance Center. Would I carry one? This is kind of a wide pistol, regardless of which one you're looking at. They're all kind of wide. But maybe the compact, if my hand could fit in it, or the Centurion, the 92X Centurion. I think it has a full size grip and a shorter barrel, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
None of the old 92s fit me, so I just kind of was like, eh. But I kind of like the performance one.
Yeah. I think for me, between the LTT and the Performance, and I still want a 92 A3 just because I think they look cool as I don't know what.
Yeah, I just want to tape one to my back or something. I don't know.
No, no.
Okay. So now we are
Okay.
on, yeah, we are on to the next 9mm, the Ruger PC9 chassis model. They came out with a chassis model. Okay. MSRP is $799. Basically, it's the one with the free float handguard, but they added their aluminum chassis, free float handguard. So I will go through this. It is CNC machined, Type 3 anodized, maximum durability, mag pull M lock accessory attachments on the forend. So factory installed barrel mounted pick rail allows for the forward mounting of optics. If you look at the picture, it's kind of it is mounted to the barrel, not the handguard. It's just this little short rail. I don't know why you'd want it, but that's just me. The Of course, still has the interchangeable mag wells for Ruger or Glock style magazines. Easy takedown, quick separation of the barrel forend, so you can transport it easier. It still is a dead blow back action with the tungsten weight, shortens bolt travel, reduces felt recoil and muzzle rise, reversible magazine release, reversible charging handle, threaded barrel, includes thread protector. The chassis system does feature a flared mag well and rear mounted QD cups. Lower receivers has a 6-position telescopic magpul MOE buttstock and proprietary receiver extension capable of accepting both commercial and mil spec aftermarket stocks. It has an ergonomic pistol grip, which is new. Features an extended trigger reach for more precise trigger control. It uses a glass-filled polymer chassis system with integrated rear aluminum pick rail. Allows for mounting a standard AR grips, Picatinny rail mount, stocks, or extensions. And this pretty much covers it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is like for me or not me, but for people that live in states where you can have a collapsible stock, this is nice because you can make it for people with shorter arms, shorter people like Tony. But if you live in a state like where Tony lives, the standard one is what you're going to have to get. It's basically just some people will want it, some people won't. They now have the option.
Yeah. I'm check. All right. Yeah, I had to make sure I was unmuted. Um, I'm glad Ruger decided to not do the bonehead idea that they said they were going to do. They said they were only going to sell it with the SR9 mags, and then if you wanted the Glock mags, you'd have to contact them and buy it as an aftermarket thing from them. But they are including it in this also because guess what? The number of people that own SR9s is dwarfed by the number of people that own Glocks.
And when you can buy Glock aftermarket magazines for like $12 a piece.
Yeah, why would I want an SR9? I
Exactly.
mean, seriously. So I think that's a smart move on their part. Pretty much the SR9 magazine thing that it comes with already mounted, you might as well just take it off and put the Glock one on. Quit BSing yourself. Maybe it makes you feel good. I don't know, but it's a long way from what used to go on with gun companies. They wouldn't even want to acknowledge other gun companies existed. This one at least is putting the most common PCC magazine adapter and magazine in their box. So that's awesome. Um, I like this, dude. We've had it at a few of our events, and everybody likes the Ruger PC carbine. And now it has M-Lock and it's threaded, which everybody wants. I guess it has that pick rail on the front end, so you could put your optic up there, and maybe it won't change to zero when you take the barrel off and put it back on again.
That would be my only idea of why.
Yeah.
I can understand that, yeah, because otherwise it's mounted on the receiver. I can see them really soon bringing out a folding stock version, since I'm
Oh,
kind of
this
looking at.
isn't
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't see
okay.
anywhere when I was reading it that said it was a folding stock.
Oh,
I
and I
c-
realized something just now when we were going over this. I put the total wrong one in my photo this morning.
yeah, you did. I was like, yeah, screw it.
Well, it looks so much cooler than this with that was it that Magpul drum mag?
Yes.
It looks like the freaking PPA what the PPSH
Did
that the
you?
Russians had.
Okay, now I'm gonna say, handgun radio. They somewhere along their Facebook page they posted a picture. Somebody retrofitted a PPSH wood stock to their PC9.
Nice.
Oh, it looked awesome. I was like, oh,
I wouldn't retrofit it. I'd just get one of those those stick peeling stickers, whatever, of wood, faux wood.
just pounded on
Just
there.
just either put that on there, have somebody Cerakote the sucker, and have it look like that.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe the stock was cheap and they were bored.
That's true, and
Yes.
that's also true.
So there's another option for you from Ruger with their PC carbine. I actually like this. Who knows what street price will be with Ruger, but I'm
Yeah.
guessing 550, $600.
Hold on.
So
Let me. Where is this thing at?
I couldn't
I'm trying
find
to
it
find
anywhere
it.
when I looked, but that's just
What
me.
the heck? No, what I'm trying to do is find the regular PC carbine
Oh yeah.
and see what that MSRP is.
Oh
Wow, they
okay.
have. Where the heck is it? If you could find it for me, find it.
Okay, I'll start looking, see if I can find stuff for Tony.
Reason being, Tanner's
Oh, here
near
we
me.
go.
Where is it?
Standard PC carbine MSRP 649.
649. All right, here we go. Hold on, I found it. Yeah, PC carbine, and that's the standard one. What about the one with the M lock? Does it have an
The one with the
MSRP on it?
M-Lock is 729.
And that's with the old school buttstock.
Yes, with the standard style buttstock.
All right, so it's at Tanner's near me for 489.
So you're looking at 250 off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I was
So
probably for 900s their MSRP, so 650, 600 probably. Yeah.
all right, and then
Yeah.
you get into places like Tanner's that go, yeah, we'd like to buy 100 of them, please.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
I'm sure they get a lower price. But fun guns to shoot, man. I love pistol caliber carbines just because they're so much fun
They
and
they
less expensive than 5.56.
exactly. And especially besides them being fun, if you're using one for training, you save money while training and getting about the same recoil, stuff like that.
Well, I find it funny. The guys go, "Well, it's not really that much cheaper." I'm like, 31 cent a round for 5.56, or 19 cent a round for 9 millimeter. That's kind of significant.
Yeah, yeah, that's
When
I'm
you're
with
doing a
you.
1,000 at a time.
I mean, 10 cents, even if it's 10 cents around cheaper, it's still 10 cents around cheaper. That's $3 over a magazine. Is
Yeah,
that it's my math work?
I don't know. I can't math. It's late.
Okay. Well, we do have some listener feedback. The first one came in from email, and Tony and I are going to discuss this because, hey, we're the ones here. It said, hey, my name, or it says, hi, my name is Kyle. I was wondering what you guys think of putting a Sig Romeo 5 on a 12 gauge for shooting clays. It would be on a Rock Island VR 60. Oh, like Tony said. I'm hoping you guys have some good insight on this. Thank you and keep up the great podcast. So, my personal opinion is if you want to do that, yes, go ahead and go right ahead and do it. Red dots on shotguns are awesome. It took me a little bit the few times I shot clays or trap with a red dot. I think the Sig Romeo will be fine on the 12 gauge. I don't think it'll be any problem. It just, like I said, it just takes a little bit to get used to because you're used to just a bead sight or something like that if you're shooting clays.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sitting here thinking, man, how long would it take me to get used to trying to shoot a clay with a red dot? Oh, I say go ahead and do it, because just do it. Um, and I guess you'd figure it out. I'm trying to figure out how I would figure it out.
Well, you
Because
can
with the red dot, you're looking at the target. You look at the target when you put a red dot on, and usually the way I shoot a red dot is you put the red dot on the target, like you superimpose it. Well, that's not how you shoot a clay. You shoot
right.
in front of the clay.
You just have to know how much to lead it, and
Yeah, so now I'm looking at the red dot again. I'm not looking at the clay. I'm looking at the red dot.
well, and then
But
it depends because you're pretty much focused on the target when you're just using a front bead sight shooting clays anyway. And a lot of times you're swinging past the target and you pull the trigger when you're on the target and you're swinging past it. So in that
through it,
case,
yeah, through it.
right. So in that case, it would do the same thing,
Yeah, no, I think what I'm doing actually is overthinking how I shoot clays.
which is usually how you miss.
That's how you miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm overthinking how I shoot clays. But I read this earlier, and I didn't get to the part where it said shooting clays. I just went ahead and went, yeah, put it on a red bit, whatever. But now yeah, I do it. I do it. Just learn it, man. Figure it out.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that complicated anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it's brain. I don't think it's rocket surgery.
Yeah, exactly. So next up is from iTunes. It says honest reviews. It's from CSM49, and he gave us 5 stars. Hey guys, I love the honesty and the no hold barred attitude of your reviews. I really do feel I get an honest and detailed information on the products that you present on your show, unlike the YouTube shills. Please keep up the great work and keep the content flowing, and you will have a happy listener for the duration. Awesome. Well, we thank both of you, CSM49 and Kyle. Uh,
Well,
we,
Command Sergeant Major 49. Um, I'm just assuming that's what it means.
I don't like to assume. I mean, I know
Yeah.
I'm one of those A people, but I don't know about other people I haven't met.
Meanwhile, his name is like Chris Samuel freaking Morris.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, Command Sergeant Major. Um, thank you for your service, sir. Uh, but hey, I appreciate that. Oh wow, that's me. LOL.
But
Yeah, it's one of the guys in the friggin' what you call it.
chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mine hasn't refreshed in a while. I don't know what mine's doing.
That's because you suck.
It's
Th- th-
probably.
Thanks for the good review, because I think sometimes when we get good reviews, we don't talk about them. Like, hey, thanks, and that's it. But no, we really
No,
appreciate
no,
that.
yeah, we do. We
And
do.
listen, I'm totally willing to be a sellout. Just nobody will meet my price. I'm just saying.
And Tony's cheap, so
Oh no, no, I'm not cheap. That's one of the
oh,
freaking.
oh.
Oh, that's one of the bad parts about being a locksmith. You start to learn your worth when you when you open up safes and stuff, and it has gold in it. I'm going, nah, I'm worth a lot more than that. But yeah, so hey, I appreciate that, because we try to be honest. We try to tell you, even if we have or biased against something, we try to tell you what it is and why, and then still try to give our honest opinion of it on top of that. Because there's nothing to be and yeah, we hate YouTube shills too, and you could see them, dude. Hey, heard anything about the 224 Valkyrie lately? Because they were all on that last year, weren't they?
Yes. And I'm disappointed in the 224 Valkyrie. I don't even want to go there because I'm looking at it as something decent, but if not everything catches on. So hey, here in a couple months at SHOT Show,
Yeah,
we'll find out what the new 225
yeah.
Valkyrie is or whatever.
Oh, the 350 Legend. Oh, the 350 Legend. Everyone should get that. And after they got rid of the free one the company sent them, you haven't heard them talk about it anymore. That's all I'm pointing out.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear
Things
you.
catch out if you use them, and these people didn't use them. Hey, 22 TCM. Remember, everyone was drooling all over the place at them because Rock Island was sending pistols out and free ammo.
Man,
It's easy to figure out who's the shill. It really is easy to figure out who just sells out for stuff.
hey, we get a lot of free stuff, but we're not
We
getting
tell you,
when are we getting the yeah, if you, that's the thing is I might mention this cuz we never really mention it. But if you look at our reviews when you go to the firearmsinsider.tv, down at the bottom of the review, most of the time, if I remember to put it in, it says it's a firing line review. That means the product was given to us. If you click on it, it says our reviews of products provided by the reviewer, by the manufacturer or distributor, with the sole purpose of conducting the review. Uh, so, it's right up there. And as you guys know from me doing reviews, I usually tell you they gave me this, or I contacted them and they sent me one. Okay. Yes. Which is, that's kind of how it works. So,
and
but
and I never shut up about people giving me stuff. They give it to me.
yeah. Yes. If you want your products out there and have a decent product, give it to Tony. He will show it to tons of people and he will never shut up about it. He's kind
But
of
if you
like the
have a
kid
sucky,
with the candy.
but if you have a sucky product and you send it to me, it will disappear like Amelia Earhart and never be heard from again.
Man, that's harsh.
What, too soon?
Too soon. Too soon. Amelia was my friend, Tony.
You probably did go to high school with her. That's probably, she promised you a second date and then she flew off the face of the earth.
Well,
Mad hen, dude.
maybe I taught her how to fly.
Obviously, she needed to come back for them landing
The
lessons or something.
exactly. I didn't teach her how to land.
You were like, Landon will take care of itself, honey. Trust me.
No, I'm not that old. I never knew her. Okay,
Too
so
late.
I think it's now time for Tony to talk more about himself.
Why? That's enough about me. What do you
Okay,
think about how I look? No, yeah, I'm
you
going to talk
want me
about
to
me.
answer that?
Nope, leave me alone, boy.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why you got to be mean. That's why your wife's pretending to be asleep right now, so she doesn't have to talk to you. All
Well, it's
right,
probably so she could watch the podcast in peace and make fun of
nice.
me later.
Hey, honey, how you doing?
I have no
Hey,
idea.
Zoe. No, but the second is for everyone. Diversity Shoot. The next one is December 5th. I can't wait because we had a great fun at the one last week. Um, Gonna try to get some new cool guns out there. If High Tower Armory actually sent me, did I say that at the beginning of the class? Their chassis for the 1022. So hopefully that will be out because I'm putting that together tomorrow and taking it to the range, unless I get rained out here in Jersey. If you want to donate to us or you want to follow us, you can go to Simon Says Train on Instagram. you can go to the Second is for Everyone on Facebook. We also have our webpage, diversityshoot.com. And there it has links to not only to a 4E podcast, but also this podcast that I'm on. And the other one, Self Defense Gun Stories. All the links are there because I really think the stuff there is important. I give you the education on 2A4E. We talk about gear on this one, and self defense gun stories kind of gives you real life people using firearms to protect themselves and their families. That's why I have it on the web page because I really think a lot of that is important. Tony, Artisan Tony, is the one helping me grow my web page and actually doing the work on it. And I'm going to try to put some more information on 2A4E or diversityshoot.com. Just more information that you need. I feel that you need as a shooter and as an American and as a Second Amendment advocate. If you want to donate to our GoFundMe, you can go to the Second is for Everyone on GoFundMe. You can donate also and become a Patreon. A patron on Patreon at 2A4E Podcast. And if you want to send us some stuff that's available on blackbagresources.com, you visit blackbagresources.com, pick out whatever items you want to donate to our diversity shoot, and type in 2A4E in the coupons section. Hey, one of the cooler gifts, and there's some cool gifts. You can do stuff like the Glock Spork thing, or even cold steel GI Tantos. Those are some pretty cool gifts that we can actually give away or raffle off. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys having me on the show every week to talk about these things. Keep an eye out what's going on if you guys want to check out NRA ILA because they're doing a lot of events near you that if you want to get involved in Second Amendment advocacy, you don't even have to be a member of the NRA. You just roll in, get the free information, and roll out. You don't even have to like the NRA. But I'm just saying, take whatever somebody's giving you for free and become a 2A activist. And hopefully I see a lot of you guys November 2nd at the Second Amendment Rally. And if you want to find out more about it, go to secondamendmentrally.com.
And since Tony is doing something on the second, it's way more important than what I'm doing. But because DC is so far away from me, I will be going to the Blade Show West in Portland, Oregon. So
Cool.
if you're there, hit me up. It's put on by the same people that put on the Blade Show in like Atlanta. It's just the West version. So I was there last year, going again this year. It's a good show, especially if you're in knives and stuff like that. And of course, most gun people are. So there you are. Send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review or subscribe on any of your podcast apps, whatever. You can find us. Check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider and check out the reviews there. Search for something. If you can't find it, maybe it'll show up. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Firearms Insider. And thank you for listening to still the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Good night, y'all. Do, 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 do.